Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're going to talk about field knives, and I'm going to give you my 5 favorite field knives for under $40. With the price of everything increasing over the last few years, it's hard to find any type of quality knives for under $40. So let's go ahead and get into it and see which one ends up being my favorite. So coming in at number 5, the Cold Steel SRK. For me, I like for a field knife to be kind of a combination of 3 things. I like for it to be a mix between a tactical knife, a bushcraft knife, and more of a hunting knife. So that means I like a little bit smaller knife that is typically, they need to be full tang, and something that can throw a spark. So the Cold Steel SRK compact comes in at roughly $35. Now the case is going to be, or the sheath is going to be a Kydex sheath. The only thing, this one does not have a drain hole. These are molly attachments I added to it so that I can put it on my plate carrier, because otherwise it comes with just a belt type sheath. The full-size version of this knife is actually the knife, if I'm not mistaken, is what they issue to SEALs during their budge training. So I like one to be able to have one-hand operation to where I can take it out of the sheath. You can see the overall size of the knife. I actually really like this size. They're extremely sharp from the factory. I want them to be just heavy enough to where if I need to do some small chopping or processing of some small wood that I can, but also they need to be able to throw a spark, which this knife actually will not throw a spark. So we've got a ferro rod, and you can see that it will not spark, but its weight and size make it decent for a field knife, because you can do some chopping with it and you can see that there is no damage to the blade. So number 4 is going to be the Mora Companion. The sheath, they're pretty decent. They do have a drain hole in the bottom of them. The belt clip is all right. I get asked a lot, what is this little thing here for? The only thing that I know that that's actually for is you can stack this knife here with other sheaths. So you can actually daisy chain several of these together in the sheath. Once again, one-handed operation where you can break it loose. You can see that it's a decent knife. This is going to be more along the lines in size of like a small hunting knife. The reason that this one didn't rank any higher is that this is not full tang, and the companions will not throw sparks. So Mora Companion, number 4. Number 3, SOG field knife. This is one of my favorite knives. You can see that it has a hard plastic sheath, does have drain hole located in the bottom of it. Belt clip is actually pretty decent at holding the knife in place, and it will thumb brake, so it will deploy easy. When this thing is seated in the sheath, as you can hear, no rattle to it. So when we look at the blade, the reason it's one of my favorite is the handle is extremely comfortable. The blade is the size that I like. It's not too small and it's not too large. These are supposed to be full tang. While it has a pommel here on the end of it. Big thing is that these blades will throw sparks. Also, it is heavy enough of a blade that you can chop and not cause any damage to the blade. So SOG field knife, number 3. Number 2, Odin Wolf W1. As you can see from the sheath, it looks a lot like a Mora knife. Same plastic sheath, has a drain hole in the bottom. Very similar belt clip, but when you unsheath the knife, it is a whole lot heavier knife than what the Mora knife is. These retail for about $30 to $35 range. Much larger blade, D2 steel, pretty comfortable handle. These are supposed to be full tang. Biggest thing is that these will throw sparks. Also, these knives are heavy enough to chop with and not cause any damage to the blade. So number 2 and number 1 were extremely close, but my number 1 is going to be the Swiss Tech Stahlhorn. This knife retails for about $40, just a hair under $40. Has a hard plastic sheath with a drain hole here in the end of it. The only thing I really don't like about it is the fact that the belt loop will actually spin. Now that's nice for like a scout carry, but it needs to have a little more retention. It spins a little bit too freely. Also, it comes with this right here to hold its own fire steel. So it comes in the box with its own fire steel. So that's what actually won it first place over the Odin Wolf for me. Now, these knives are easily thumb break to remove it from the sheath. It's got a pretty straight handle and blade design. The weight is decent. It is full tang. However, it's got a little insert in the tang here for this little aluminum insert. Not sure why they put those in there, but it is supposed to be full tang. And of course, since it comes with its own fire steel, there is no question that this knife will throw fire. It has a notch in the blade here that you just put on the fire steel and strike. Weight is heavy enough that you can chop with it and not cause any damage to the blade, as you can see here. This may be as comfortable as the Odin Wolf, maybe not quite as comfortable, but by it having the fire steel already included with it, that's what made it my number 1 field knife for under $40.
So there's my top 5 field knives for $40. If you have one that you feel like should be on this list and it's not, add it in the comments below, because I love buying new knives to try out. Thanks for watching.